Hello, my name's Lynn Stone. I'm a London-based children's book illustrator, and today I'm going to give you some tips on how to draw. Okay, next I'm going to show you basic anatomy of the human figure. And we're going to use a ruler and a pencil and a rubber. And first of all, we're going to draw a line down the centre of the page, like so. Then we're going to mark off the top of the head, and at this point decide on the size of our figure by the size of the head. So that's sort of the size of our head. So we're just going to do a simple oval shape for the moment for the head. Now, the head goes into the body 8 times anatomically. So what we need to do next is, using a pencil, measure off from the top of the head to the base and then mark down. So that's the first head. So that's 2, run out of pencil lead, let's do that again. That's 2, 3, 4, 8. And we'll just draw a line across the bottom at the moment so we know what that represents. Okay, mark out a halfway point for the eyes, and indeed that's going to be the ears as well. Then a halfway point for the nose, and a halfway point for the mouth. Like so. Then 2/3 of the way up of the next mark you'd made for the head. Draw a line across. That's roughly where the shoulders are going to be. Okay, so we're just going to draw a line across like this. The next key point is the hips, which is 1, 2, and a bit for the hips. Just going to double check my measurements here. 1, 2, yeah. It's actually 1, 2.5 actually. That makes it easier for you to remember. 1, 2.5, which is there. So we just mark across for that. Okay. And then for the knees, it's here, which is 2 heads up from the bottom. That's for the knees. Okay. Now the width of the shoulders is exactly a head and a head. So that's nice and easy. So let's just get the head measurement again. And that's 3. So that's 3 and 3. Everything is measured by the head in the human body. So next we can draw in an indication of the neck and maybe a downward slope for the shoulders. The chest is roughly the next head down, so we can mark across for the chest. And the top of the lower part of the stomach is the next head. So it all measures out perfectly, really, across the figure. Now, for the length of an arm from the shoulder to the tip of the fingers is exactly 3 heads. So we're going to make a mark here, and I'm going to create, we're going to have one arm outstretched, so I'm going to draw it like this. So it's 3 centimetres we measured, so that's 1, 2, 3. It's the end of the arm. And then we're going to do the other arm coming downwards, like this. Same thing again. It's 1, 2, 3 for the tip again. Okay, so we've got a few guidelines now for what we're doing. Shoulder area comes across like so, and then you can indicate top like this. So we need the base of the stomach is roughly here, and it just so happens that the testicles come roughly where the next mark of the head would be, roughly. Okay, so put that in. So we'll also do the sides, like so. And all of this can be adjusted at a later date if it's not quite right. Now on the arm, the first head mark is roughly where the elbow is going to come. Now obviously I'm roughing this out quite loosely for you. Same on the outstretched arm. Okay. So, and there happens to be a muscle just here under the arm on a man that you need to, obviously on a woman as well, but it's emphasised more on a man. And then the forearm comes down and just past the next mark for the head that we created earlier, like so. Okay. Because the rest is the hand. Now for the hand, at this stage, I am just going to do this sort of shape on the end. Okay, and a ball shape for the thumb, base of the thumb, like so, like that. And we can do the same for the other arm as well. Okay, let's draw this out. If I had more time, I would obviously put a lot more detailing in and would refine my various shapes a lot more as well. But now for the bottom part of the figure. Men have hips as well, so we need to indicate hips. Now the top half of the legs, if this is the centre of the legs here, you need to do a kind of shape like this to indicate the outside of the legs. Obviously I'm just doing my figure standing straight, and a little bit for the inside, like so. Now it looks very odd at the moment, I know. They're just mapping it out at the moment. Then you want the knees. Okay, you need to put in the knees in this part, and the muscle that runs down the side of the knee here, and an indication of another muscle on the inside here. Now we can really detail the bottom part of the legs a lot more. So first of all, let's do the calf, and we want to come in quite a bit on the bottom part of the leg like this. Okay, and the inside's a little bit fiddly, but we've got this sort of shape, and then don't forget we've got the back of the calf muscle there, and then we would come in like so. I mean, I'm obviously simplifying this somewhat just so that you can see what's going on down here. And then we've got the ankle bone here, and the outside of the ankle here. And then because the foot is face on, we're just going to, it's almost a triangle in a way. It's kind of a triangle shape like this, just to indicate. And then a line running across to mark out where the toes would come. And then very, very quickly, I'm just going to quickly scribble in the toes. Now you might find that when you look back, bits of it are not quite working. You can adjust what you've done. I do all the time. There's also a little bit of an indication of thigh muscle here that you do need to add, otherwise it's not going to look right at all. some ears in, an indication of the eyes, nose. Now this is a really basic, quite unrefined sketch in a way really, but I'm just trying to give you some indication that once you've chosen the size of the head, everything else is measured off the head, and this is just to help you establish that. Okay, I hope that helps anyway.